Danny Vargas is the chairman of the Friends of the National Museum of the American Latino. And Mr. Vargas, we're glad to have you with us today.
Good morning, Chairman Blunt, Ranking Member Klobuchar, and members of the committee. Thank you for the opportunity to testify today. As a kid from the streets of Brooklyn, an Air Force veteran, an entrepreneur, and as a dad, it's truly humbling to be before you today. However, today I'm also representing our organization, our many supporters, nearly 61 million Latinos in the United States, and we have received many letters of support from corporations, from organizations, academia, and individuals, and we ask that those letters please be entered into the record. As a patriot, I want America to reach its fullest potential, but to get there, we need to know where we came from. Sadly, much of what's in our history books and our national museums is incomplete. Latinos have been vital in the founding, the building, the shaping, the defending of this nation for over 500 years, but most Americans are unaware of these indispensable contributions. Our mission is to create a museum that illuminates the American story for the benefit of everyone, for a more complete and accurate telling of American history. Latinos have been settling communities in what is now U.S. territory since 1493. So by the time the British get to Jamestown in 1607, there had already been a bunch of Latinos saying, "Bienvenidos, what took you so long?" America would be unrecognizable without the centuries worth of Latino contributions, including our military. Latinos have fought in every war we've ever had, from Spanish General Galvez helping General Washington win the War of Independence, to the first full admiral of the United States Navy, David Farragut, famously saying, "Damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead," during the Civil War. From the 500,000 Latino troops in World War II to the Army's 65th Infantry Regiment, the Buccaneers of Puerto Rico, and their legendary exploits in Korea, and the thousands of Hispanic surnames etched on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Wall. From the young Latinas and Latinos serving and sacrificing on our behalf in the battlefields of Afghanistan and Iraq, to the 60 Hispanic Medal of Honor recipients, as an Air Force veteran myself, I can tell you that Latinos take a backseat to no one in the defense of liberty. Our community has had a lasting impact in every single aspect of society, from arts to science to business, sports, politics, and more. One of my personal heroes, Roberto Clemente, helped usher in the era of Latinos in baseball, despite facing discrimination because he was both Latino and black. Linda Carter, television's Wonder Woman in the 1970s, changed the face of strong women on TV. Before Brown v. Board of Education, there was Mendez v. Westminster, which laid the groundwork for school desegregation. Throughout history, we've been relying on Latinos to fight our wars and to run our businesses, to tend our fields and to mend our wounds, to teach our kids, patrol our streets, and to share the word of God. Contrary to what some might believe, Latinos are not a recent patch being sewn out to the tapestry of America. We are an essential foundational thread woven into the very fabric of America. We are a wonderfully complex community today. We are over 18% of the population, $2 trillion in purchasing power. We are Afro-Latinos, we are Asian Latinos, we're blonde-haired and blue-eyed, we are mulattos and mestizos and Native Americans and everything in between. We're not a race, we're a culture. We are Republicans, Democrats, and independents. We have foundational shared values around family and faith and freedom and opportunity and optimism and pride and passion, and those are the qualities most needed in our country today. We also have a responsibility to inspire future generations. By 2060, Latinos will make up 30% of the population. So if we hope to remain a strong, thriving, and vibrant nation, that segment of the population needs to feel acknowledged, engaged, and invested in our future. This is about honoring our ancestors and inspiring our descendants. This initiative began 26 years ago when the Smithsonian Task Force found willful neglect in its portrayal of Latino stories. They recommended the creation of an American Latino Museum, and in 2008, President Bush signed the bill creating the Commission to study the museum's feasibility, which I was appointed to by John Boehner. In 2011, we delivered our report to Congress and President Obama saying three basic things. There was a clear and pressing need for the museum, that it should be part of the Smithsonian Institution, and that it really ought to be on the National Mall. That year, we first introduced the authorization bill, and this year the House passed the American Latino Museum Act unanimously on a voice vote with 295 bipartisan co-sponsors. We now have 45 bipartisan co-sponsors for the Senate bill. We urge the committee to advance the bill, and we urge the full Senate to pass the House bill by unanimous consent. The House bill includes language ensuring the diversity of political viewpoints, meaning this would be the first and only Smithsonian Museum in the institution's 174-year history, requiring the representation of various points of view, including the conservative viewpoint. We stand on the shoulders of the leaders who created previous ethnic museums. We've learned from their experiences, and I'm confident in our ability to raise the funds needed to build a world-class institution. In closing, I've been involved with this initiative for the last 13 years. For me, it's a labor of love, a legacy initiative. It's about family. And one day, God willing, I'll be able to walk into this museum with my family and my two sons, Daniel and David. And I have a vision of a young Latina born today in America and on her 6th grade field trip. She can come to D.C. and she can marvel at the monuments, and she can visit Capitol Hill, and she can go to the national museums, including the American Latino Museum, and she can see all these stories that I've been talking about and more, and she can leave that museum not only proud to be a Latina, but proud to be an American. Thank you so much for the opportunity to testify. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Vargas. It's great to see you again, and another friend of this committee.